Stop whatever else you're doing for just a moment. Because if you're an education leader feeling stretched too thin, this next 20 minutes might change how you work and how you lead forever. Let's be real. You didn't get into education to spend your nights buried in emails, your days bouncing between crises, or your weekends catching up on reports. You signed up to make an impact, to lead, to inspire, to build something that lasts. But instead, the job keeps getting bigger, the pressure keeps mounting, and no matter how much harder you work, it still feels like you're falling behind. Does that sound familiar? Well, here's the truth. More hours won't fix you. More meetings won't fix it either. Another round of generic productivity hacks, that won't make a difference. What will? A radically different approach. One that puts your energy, your focus, and your strategy first. Over the next 20 minutes, we're cutting through the noise. You'll get 5 really straightforward strategies that will help you, 1, prevent burnout and regain control of your time. 2, do less, but better, so you're making an impact, not just putting out fires. 3, unlock your best ideas instead of drowning in busy work. 4, build effortless leadership habits that work for you, not against you. And 5, leverage AI the right way, so it enhances human connection, not replaces it. This isn't about working harder, it's about leading smarter. So here's what I need from you right now. Close that email tab, silence your phone, commit to being fully present for the next 20 minutes. Because by the time we're done, you'll walk away with a clearer mind, a better strategy, and a way forward that actually works. Let's dive in. Leadership isn't just about making decisions. It's about having energy, mental clarity, and emotional bandwidth to make the right ones. But here's the problem. Most education leaders are running on a near empty tank. Think about it. When was the last time you ended the school day feeling energized instead of drained? Are you constantly pushing through exhaustion? Is your sleep suffering? Do you find yourself reacting instead of thinking strategically? Here's the truth. You cannot lead well if you're physically and mentally depleted. Your energy is your most valuable leadership asset. And why this matters? Like, imagine your phone at 1%, right? It lags, some apps stop working, and if you keep pushing it, it just shuts down. Now, apply that same logic to leadership. When your personal battery is drained, your thinking slows, your patience is thin, and you default to short-term fixes, right? And most leaders treat exhaustion like a badge of honor. If you want to lead at your highest level, you need to treat energy management the way that elite athletes do. Dr. Peter Attia, in his book Outlive, talks about the research, and it's clear. Leaders who prioritize sleep, movement, and stress management don't just feel better, they lead better. Less than 6 hours of sleep, your decision-making and emotional control, cognitive function drop instantly. Sleep is a leadership tool. The more you sit, the more sluggish your brain gets. Regular movement increases focus, mood, and problem-solving skills. Chronic stress rewires your brain to react instead of strategize. So here's 3 steps. Conduct a week-long energy audit. Before making any changes, you need data, right? For 2 weeks, you're going to track how much you sleep, how much you move, and what moments in your day drain your energy the most. Just use your notes app, or I'll send you a link to a template you can use to track all of this. Step 2, implement micro movements. Forget the time to exercise, right? Instead, weave in movements into your existing day. Take walking meetings instead of sitting. Set a timer every hour to stand and stretch or move for 2 minutes. Walk to talk instead of emailing a colleague. Tiny shifts will make a big impact. Step 3, non-negotiable personal health boundaries. Set clear, simple rules. No emails after 8 p.m. Heck, 5 p.m. Block out 1 hour daily for deep, uninterrupted work. Designate one no-work zone, maybe morning, a weekend, or dinner time. Sustainable leadership requires sustainable habits. Leaders who prioritize energy don't just feel better, they make better decisions. And schools with energized and clear-thinking leaders perform better. So here's the challenge. Pick one of these things and start today. Just one, because small changes consistently applied create huge results. Right now, you're juggling way too much. And deep down, you know it's not working. You're in back-to-back meetings, you're answering emails at 10 p.m., and you're trying to launch new initiatives while trying to keep up with the daily fires. Despite all these hours, all the effort, you still don't feel like you're making real progress. Here's the reality. The problem's not that you're working hard enough. It's that you're working on too many things that don't actually matter. Imagine trying to juggle 20 balls at the same time. What happens? You drop them all. You're constantly scrabbling, never in control. The important ones, the leadership, your vision, your big picture strategy, and especially your personal well-being, get lost. You need to focus. You can master the rhythm, but instead of just surviving, you can actually excel. This is the core idea of essentialism. Doing less, but doing it better. So here's the trap, right? You say yes to too many things, you attend every single meeting, even if they don't add no value, and you try to fix every small problem instead of focusing on high impact solutions. Here's what high performing leaders do. Prioritize, protect time for the work that actually moves the needle, and they say no. Learning how to say no is so important. So here's the action plan. First, we're going to do a priority map exercise where you're going to find your high impact work. So you're going to take 5 minutes and write down every task and project and initiative. Then we're going to sort them into 4 categories. High impact, essential, the work that truly moves forward. High impact, non-essential, valuable, but can be delegated. Low impact, essential, routine tasks, automate, right? Low impact, non-essential, time wasters, cut them immediately. Social media, right? If everything feels essential, ask yourself, if I stop doing this today, what would actually happen? Step 2, create a stop doing list. Identify one recurring meeting that you can cancel or reduce. Eliminate one task that adds no real value, and set a boundary, right? Like answering emails outside of work hours. We've already talked about this. Just do it. Step 3, schedule protected deep work time. We've talked about this earlier. So you need to block out that time, block out that moment, that hour every day where you're going to do deep uninterrupted work. Shut down all notifications except messages and phone, and treat that time really as essential, right? Leaders who prioritize effectively get more done with less stress. The key to thriving leadership isn't doing everything, it's doing the right things. Okay, pick one thing that you can stop doing today, because leadership isn't how much you do, it's how much of the right work that you focus on. You're always on, always thinking, always reacting. You check emails at red lights, you enter text between meetings, you scroll through notifications while waiting for your coffee, and yet you can't find the time for big picture thinking. Here's why. Your brain is stuck in reaction mode. When was the last time you had a real uninterrupted moment just to think? Research shows that when you give your brain downtime, something powerful happens. Your default mode network activates, the part of your brain responsible for creativity, problem solving, and deep thinking. Your brain starts making unexpected connections, which is why breakthrough happens. You shift from reacting to problems to solving them proactively. Great ideas don't come from grinding harder. They come from giving your brain the space to think. If you plant crops nonstop in a field, year after year, the soil gets depleted, nothing grows. But if you let the land rest, it becomes more fertile, leading to a stronger, healthier harvest. Your brain works the same way. If you're constantly plugged in, responding and rushing from task to task, you're not giving yourself the space for real insight. Okay, so for 1 week, commit to small intentional breaks from digital overload. Day 1, count how many times you check your phone. Just notice. Day 2, remove one app that drains your focus. News, social media, whatever it is. Day 3, if you're commuting or waiting in line, don't pull out your phone. Just think. Day 4, delay checking your phone for at least 30 minutes after waking up. Day 5, set 2 10-minute slots in your day where you sit quietly and let your mind wander. Day 6, put something on paper, whether it's a brainstorm or a list or whatever it is, on paper. Day 7, half a day, digital detox, no screens. Okay, step 2, silent walks are amazing. So take a 10 to 30-minute walk daily. No phone, no music, just your thoughts. Try tech-free mornings. Spend the first hour of your day journaling or just sitting with a coffee. Designate a no-work zone. Protect spaces for your reflection time. Step 3, the 10-second pause. Before responding to a tough question or email, pause for 10 seconds. Let your brain process, step back, and think instead of just reacting. This one shift can completely change the quality of your decision making. Leaders who create mental space make better decisions. Schools with strategic, thoughtful leaders perform better. The best ideas come when you stop forcing them and give your brain the room to think. So here's the challenge. Choose one small way to unplug this week. Even a 10-minute phone-free break can reset your brain and improve your leadership. You don't need another massive overhaul. You need small, repeatable habits that actually stick. Think about it. Most leadership changes fail because they're too big, too fast, and too unsurmountable. You set ambitious goal and then you get overwhelmed. You try to change everything at once, then nothing sticks. You start strong, then fall back into old habits. The secret is that most successful leaders don't rely on motivation, they rely on systems. And the best system, tiny compounding habits. Imagine improving just 1% every day. Day by day, the difference feels small, but over time, those small improvements compound. After a year, you're 37 times better than when you started. Now flip it. If you get 1% worse every day, the decline adds up fast. This is why tiny, consistent changes matter more than big, unsustainable ones. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, breaks it down. Small habits create identity shifts. You're not just trying to become a strategic leader. You become one through daily actions. Tiny wins create momentum. The easier a habit is, the more likely you repeat it. And success isn't about goals, it's about systems. Leaders who focus on small, consistent habits outperform those chasing big one-time changes. So step 1, instead of trying to create new habits from scratch, attach them to something you already do. So here's the formula. After existing habit, I will do this. So after pouring my morning coffee, I will write down 3 key goals for the day. After unlocking my office, I will spend 10 minutes reviewing yesterday's wins. After my last meeting of the day, I will send 1 thank you note to a staff member. Why it works? You're not changing your routine, you're enhancing it. Okay, step 2, 2-minute rule. Make habits so easy that you can't fail. If you want to implement classroom walkthroughs, step 1, go into 1 classroom per day. Want to read more leadership books? Read 1 page a night. Want to improve staff recognition? Write 1 thank you email per week. The hardest part of any habit is starting. This removes the friction. Okay, step 3, track progress to stay consistent. What gets measured gets improved. So keep it simple. Use a habit scorecard. I can send you one and then put a check or an X for that habit every day. Try a streak tracker. Mark off successful habits on a calendar, or in journal 1 key leadership lesson at the end of the week. Right? Small daily actions create massive long-term leadership growth. Consistent habits are more powerful than motivation. Leaders who build strong systems achieve more with less effort. The challenge: pick 1 tiny leadership habit and start today, because leaders who succeed aren't the ones who do the most. They're the ones who stay consistent. AI isn't the future of leadership. It's already here. It's either making your life easier or adding to the chaos. Right now, AI can automate repetitive tasks, analyze student performance in seconds, streamline scheduling, communication, and reporting. But here's the real question. Are you using AI to work smarter, or are you drowning in more tech than ever? AI is a tool, not a replacement for leadership. Used right, it amplifies your impact. Used wrong, it just becomes another distraction. Think of AI like the autopilot system on an airplane. It handles the routine, navigating steady airspace, making micro adjustments, but when turbulence hits, you need a human pilot. Leadership works in the same way. AI can assist, but you make the strategic calls. Great leaders don't fear AI. They learn how to use it to free up time for what actually matters: relationships, strategy, and culture. Let's be real. There are risks to AI in education. If the data is flawed, AI reinforces inequities. Great schools need human connection, not just effectiveness. And student and staff data must be handled with care. AI governance matters. So, how do we use AI wisely without losing the human touch? Step one, automate routine tasks to free up your own leadership time. AI should eliminate busy work, not add to it. So use AI-driven scheduling tools to auto-align meetings, set up some AI-generated summaries of reports and emails, and implement AI-powered chatbots for routine parent and staff frequently asked questions. So this way, you'll be able to get back time each week better spent on leadership, not logistics. Step two, ethical frameworks. AI should assist, not replace human judgment. So you need to regularly audit AI tools to check for bias and ensure staff and parents understand how AI is being used in decision making. Leaders who set clear AI policies build trust while using tech to their advantage. The best AI users aren't just IT teams, they're teachers and leaders who know how to leverage it wisely. Train staff on AI tools that enhance learning and administration. Hold an AI in education roundtable to explore best practices and encourage teachers to experiment with AI-driven collaborative planning. AI works best when it's a team effort, not just a top-down initiative. Leaders who use AI strategically gain back time for high-impact work. Schools that use AI really can have a strong human connection. AI isn't about doing less work. It's about doing the right work better. So identify one task that AI can take off of your plate right now, whether it's automating scheduling, summarizing emails, or tracking student performance. Start small, but start smart. Pause for a second. Think back to the last time you fully felt in control of your leadership, when you were making decisions with clarity, not just reacting. When you left work feeling accomplished, not just exhausted. When you had the space to think, plan, and actually lead. If that moment feels distant, here's the good news. Everything you need is now in your hands. Over the last 20 minutes, you've built a blueprint for leadership that's sustainable, effective, and human-centered. You've identified energy drains and built habits to recharge. You've streamlined your focus to do less but better. You've learned how mental space fuels better decisions. You've developed tiny and repeatable habits that compound over time. And you've started to embrace AI as a tool to enhance, not replace human leadership. Now it's time to pull it all together and make it stick. Your leadership effecting guide is really to move you from learning to action. And so take these 5 questions really seriously. Your energy check-in. What part of your day consistently drains most of your energy? What's one habit that you can implement this week to improve your energy levels? This week, I will blank to protect my energy. Looking at your workload, what's one task, meeting, or responsibility you can eliminate or delegate? If you could only focus on 3 core priorities in your leadership, what would they be? This week, I will stop doing X and focus on Y. When was the last time you had an interrupted moment to think? What's one simple way you can create more mental space this week? This week, I will set aside X minutes per day for deep, uninterrupted thinking. What's one small, repeatable habit you can add to your daily routine? How can you make it easy to start and hard to forget? I will stack my new habit onto X to make it automatic. What's one task AI could help you automate or streamline right now? How can you ensure that AI enhances, not replaces, human connection in your school? This week, I will explore AI for X to free up more time for Y. The final shift. Leading with intention isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things in the right way with the right energy. It's about leading in a way that's sustainable, a way that lets you think bigger, a way that lets you make an impact without burning out. Pick just one commitment from your reflection guide and start today, because leadership isn't about knowing what to do. It's about actually doing it. If you want personalized support, sign up for a leadership productivity audit. See below. If you thrive with peer accountability, join our leadership mastermind group, also below. Leadership isn't about working harder, it's about leading smarter. Now, it's your move.